17 million fruit trees, four fruit trees per person.
Wow.
And on public land, not for sale. And I just think, let's do this. Let's change humanity. And I just thank you so much. You're an inspiration, and yeah, what a guy.
Thank you. Well, I just see myself as the servants of the volunteers. They're doing all this wonderful work. Yes, back in the day, I was cooking and serving people and training other volunteers. Right now, I'm more administrative. I'm more like a supporting them. And so I'm very humble, thank you. But I'm very proud of what they do. It's wonderful, it's wonderful. So we actually have worked with that organization, Fruit Tree Planting Foundation. They donated all the organic produce for the Katrina relief to Food for Life Global. So we were able to serve everyone vegan organic meals because of their donation. And they've also worked with our school project, the one you saw. They donated a whole bunch of fruit trees to that school project about 18 months ago. So yeah, it's wonderful what you guys are doing. Yes. Did you have a question? No? No. Any other questions? You do?
Is it possible to duplicate this completely off-the-grid village in the United States? I'm thinking that if somehow that could be done, then more people would become involved in duplicating it in more needed places, although in the U.S. it's tremendously needed.
Well, I think in the U.S. we will need it at some point. Right now we're living on the fumes, whatever. We're living on past credit, and eventually that credit is going to run out. I mean, I literally mean that in the material sense and the spiritual sense. because of pious activity, we were born into America. We were given a very nice situation because of what we did in a past life. But, that credit can only last so long. And if we continue to exploit Mother Nature and commit sinful activity, we're wearing out that good credit, and eventually it'll catch up with us, and that's what's happening. So whether we like it or not, we're going to be forced into these situations where we have to live sustainably, whether we like it or not, whether we believe it or not. And we have to eat vegetarian because the meat industry, we all know this, it's not sustainable, it's ridiculous. So our plan is to duplicate it. This is a pilot project and it's already pretty much successful. We're feeding thousands of people every day, 100 crops. It's an incredible project. The guy who's directing it is from Maine, and he has a master's in economics. So he was actually trained in this. His mother was a great advocate of sustainable living. She was trained in the Indian tradition, and so from birth, she was constantly talking about this, how we have to live off the land, we have to respect Mother Nature, and all these things. So he was hearing this from the beginning, and as he grew up, he was thinking, well, that's nice, but how do you practically execute that? How do you do that? What is the model to make that happen? So when he did his master's in economics, his thesis was on building a model of sustainability based on the Indian tradition of Varnashram Dham. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but anyway. So he developed the model and now he's executing it. And he's now, basically that thesis is his business plan. And he plans to duplicate it around the world. So we're very, very proud of what he's doing. It's wonderful. But please check the website, which is workingvillages.org.
What would your or his model be for the more dense populations, the urban and suburban populations?
Well, I think, it's a difficult question because we've built up this system. We've gone a certain way down the track, and we've got this very complex system now. So to try to convert that is very, very difficult. We can, gradually do things. As an individual, we have to look at it really in what we can do personally, because ultimately every village is made up of individuals, right? So we have to just do our best individually. In terms of what is our master plan to to make the transformation in the US, we don't really have a master plan. We have this project and we plan to then duplicate that around the world and give people an example of how you can live sustainably, and then hopefully from that experience they'll actually learn something and then apply it in their own area. I mean, we're not here to try to, it's not possible for us to try to change the world. As individuals we can do our best.
I was just thinking, I don't know if you've heard of the Anastasia books, but she talks a lot about the Dachniks.
Yeah.
And maybe people could start growing little gardens.
Yeah, of course. Well, that's the idea, is we'll set an example, they'll see that, because seeing is more powerful than hearing. I mean, if I just talked to you today and I didn't have a PowerPoint presentation, it would be way less effective. Because then you see a picture of that child in the street, in the slums, and it means a lot more. So that's our plan, is to show people by example, practical example, then they'll apply that in their own micro way at home. Ultimately, you have to save yourself, because the saying goes, you have to fly your own plane, all right? So eventually, you are responsible for your life. You can't blame other people, you can't blame other things, other institutions. You are responsible for what happens in your life. At the time of death, the finger points back at you. You can't point the finger at anyone else. So you have to fly your own plane. So it's what we can do as individuals. That's the most important thing. And then if we can inspire someone else, and they inspire someone else, then you have a group, then you have a village. But it starts with the individual. Anyone else? So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And please